Hey guys, it's your girl OG Teddy B back with another video. This video was basically inspired by my heroin lipstick. I just wanted to wear it. I haven't worn it in such a while, and I figured that if I did a silver purple tone eye makeup look, it would complement the look really well and still be a look that I could wear throughout the daytime on my way to work. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I started by applying my Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer all over my face, so that's my cheek and my forehead area. And then I went in with my mattifying primer on my nose and forehead area because I'm super oily in that space. And from then, I just started applying my Studio Fix foundation in the shade NC55 on my cheeks, nose, forehead, chin. And then I went in with my Real Techniques buffing brush, and I started buffing that all over my face. I always forget how good the Studio Fix foundation is. I just love that it's a nice foundation in the sense that you can build up the coverage, and it's fairly light, but you can build it up obviously if you want more coverage. I don't mind it being, let's say medium coverage. I don't mind if some of my imperfections show through, but if you did want a full clean slate, you can definitely achieve it using this foundation. So I'm applying a bit more on my cheek area and then going in with my beauty blender, or not the beauty blender, the Real Techniques blending sponge. I always call it the beauty blender, and that just provides a bit more coverage in that area since this is where I have some scarring. Now I'm brushing out the little brows that I have with my MAC Volux brow liner in the shade Velvet Stone. So I brush my brows upwards, and then I take the brow pencil and start filling in my brows. So I go from the middle, then I fill in the end, and then I slowly work on the body or the front of my brow. Now I've been doing my brows a little thicker. It's not intentional, it just kind of happened. My brows have been thicker the past couple months. Every few months I feel like my brow shape changes or my brow style changes. Not intentionally, it just happens. And I'm going through a change right now. So once I've completed the body of the brow, I'm just kind of brushing out the front of it to kind of diffuse it a bit so it looks a little more natural. Obviously my brows look enhanced, which is fine because I don't mind. But brushing out the front of the brow just helps to diffuse it out a bit in that area, just so it flows a little better. And another thing about the Volux brow liner, it's not really a dark brown, but it's almost like a dark taupey brown. So it's like a cool tone brown. So this shade is good if you have dark hair or even light hair. You can definitely use the same brow shade. Now I'm concealing the bottom of my eyebrows using my NC45 Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC. I absolutely love this concealer. I use it in the summer, in the winter, the same one shade. You would think in the winter I would go up a shade or go lighter, but I don't. I just stick with the same shade. And I love to conceal my brows because I like a clean slate. I also like concealing my brows because if you make any mistakes, you can just clean it up. I'm going in with my Real Techniques blending sponge, and I'm blending out the concealer that I've just applied there, and then I'm applying some of my concealer on my eyelids. Now I decided to use my LA Girl concealer in the shade Toffee as a primer this time. Usually I use my paint pot, but I couldn't bother reaching for any of them, so I'm just using this one here and then blending it out with my Real Techniques blending sponge and applying some Sasha Cosmetics Buttercup setting powder, and this just prevents any skipping with the eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with my MAC's Eyeshadow x9 Dusky Rose palette, and I'm using the shade Frankly Frosty, and I'm applying that in my crease area with my 224 blending brush. This brush is a great brush to use because it gives you like a nice wash of color. It's not too dense, and because I'm wearing a purple lipstick, I didn't want anything too dramatic on my eyes. Well, not really for this look. I'm using the 224 brush and just going back and forth to slowly build up this color. It's a cool tone gray shade. The next color I'm using is Cool Compliment from the same palette, and this time I decided to use a 286 brush. I'm applying that directly in my crease area and going back and forth just to build up this color as well, or to build up this color until I get to my desired shade. After that, I'm taking the shade In My Element on a 213 blending fluff, applying that directly on my lid. Now I'm kind of packing, wiping at the same time. So I'm packing the shadow on and I'm wiping it. Now this shadow I believe is a luster shadow, so it's a little different. It's not as smooth as, let's say, maybe a Volux Pearl shadow or a satin shadow. It's kind of choppy in a sense, so I'm pushing it on so it adheres better to the lid, and then I'm kind of swiping it across to blend it into the other shades I've just applied on my lid. After using this color, I realized that I wanted a different tone, or rather I wanted to change the tone a bit, so I did end up going in with another shadow after using this one. Now this one is an extra dimension eyeshadow. I'm not fully sure of the name, but I'm pretty sure I used the shade Grand Galaxy, and here it is. I used it with a synthetic brush because I wanted the shadow to pack on a little more intensely. This shade is a dirty mid-tone violet. That's the description on the MAC's website, but it's basically like a violety shade. It's still very wearable throughout the day, as much as I packed it on a bit. As you can see, I switched back to my 213 brush. I don't know why I did that. It was probably coming out better with this brush, but I do enjoy using that shade. Now taking the shade Dance in the Dark with a 217 blending brush, and this is going directly into the crease. Now this is just to deepen up the crease and to help bring the whole look together. I'm taking my 224 brush, and then this is to diffuse any harsh edges or any harsh lines so the look just flows. And my lips are super dry, guys, so I'm just moisturizing my lips here. And the eyeliner pencil I'm using, I actually received in my Ipsy bag from September, and I think it's called HEYY, but it's just a jet black eyeliner pen. I actually liked it. It wasn't bad at all. Usually I'm not too much a fan of felt tip liners, but I did like this felt tip liner. I felt that the color was very true. It was very rich and dark, and it wasn't skipping or gray. Sometimes when you use felt tip liners, the colors aren't as dark, or they skip and you have to keep shaking it down to get the color. I didn't have this problem with this at all. As you guys can see, it's very smooth and it's very consistent, and it just rolled right on my eyes. When I'm doing my wing liner, I like to start with the lid first, so I'll kind of outline the lid area slowly, and I don't go thick off the bat. Even if I wanted to do a thick liner, I usually start off with the liner very thin, and I just take my time and build it up where I want to build it up. I'll start carving out the actual wing, so I'll draw a line from the end of my eye out, and this is where I'll create the desired length or thickness of the wing, and then I connected the top part down to the lid, as you can see here. I did make a little boo-boo here, but that's nothing. That's nothing. You can clean that up with concealer afterwards, so I'm not worried about that. Now I'm using my Pro Beyond Twisted Lash Mascara to apply on my lid before applying my lashes. I am taking the 217 brush again with that shade Dance in the Dark and just deepening up the outer crease area. And I'm applying my Demi Wispies lashes. Guys, this is a great everyday lash, the Demi Wispies, and I personally believe that it's the most complimenting lash on any eye shape as well. It's about, I would say it's light to medium in terms of volume. In terms of length, I would say it's a medium, but I think it's the shape of it that complements any eye shape. It goes from short to long, and it's very wispy, so it comes across fairly natural looking. But I really do like these lashes. They are one of my favorite lashes. Since my eyes are done, I'm going directly into my concealer, and I'm using the shade Toffee by LA Girl Cosmetics, you guys. These concealers are bomb.com. I'm surprised they haven't risen the prices of these, guys. They're only like, if I go to my beauty supply store, I get it for like $3.99 or something like that. And these concealers are amazing. They're very full coverage if you want them to be, but they're also very thick in consistency. I don't mind that. They can come across cakey if you apply too much, so guys, a little goes a long way with these concealers. After applying those concealers, or that concealer, I am now blending out the areas that I've concealed with my Real Techniques blending sponge. And any area that I did conceal, I'm going to set with my Sasha Cosmetics Buttercup powder. So this is what I mentioned earlier. I messed up my eyeliner and I just went in with a flat brush. I just fixed it, and then I just blended it out with my Real Techniques blending sponge. So if you ever mess up your wing liner, guys, there's nothing, again, it's nothing a concealer can't fix. So I'm now setting my under eye area along the bridge of my nose and the area of my forehead that I highlighted. And after that, I'm taking my Studio Fix powder in the shade NW43 and applying that all over my face because now I'm setting the areas that I applied my foundation to. Here, the footage, I don't know what happened with the footage. I think it just stopped recording. But all I did was apply some heroin lipstick on my lips, and that's it. So if you guys want to see any more makeup videos, you know what to do. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.